Well, I'm 20 something minutes away from clocking in as I record this. It is about 8:55, 8:56 a.m. on this Thursday, September 26, 2019. And today is a day that pretty much, well, if it goes by quick, it'll be a surprise. If they decide to let some associates out early because it's slow and there's not really much to do, that'll be a surprise. But what I'm talking about is the fact that today is inventory day. That's right, inventory day. Today is the day that the people from what is known as WIS come in, and for a majority of the day, from essentially 5 in the morning or whenever they come in, mostly 5 or 6 in the morning, till about midway before I clock out today, maybe even a little afterwards, they will be inventorying. Mostly it's an 8 to 12 hour shift for them. So basically from 5 to, I would say, 6 or 5 to at least 2, they will be doing inventory. And what that means is they're going to be, when I say doing inventory, I should correctly say they'll be taking inventory. They're making sure that everything is up to date, up to standard. Certain items are in, certain items need to be ordered, things like that. And usually, this is the kind of day to where, well, as like I said, as an associate or a worker or whatever, if you have to work a certain area in the store, you're very limited. You can't really do much as you're used to doing. You can't really organize. You can't really add new things in. You can't, stock. Well, you can probably stock, but not as much as you would like to. It's kind of tricky. It's a tricky situation. And it's not one that a lot of us look forward to, although we understand why it has to be. I think financially there's something that goes into our checks because of that, if we're up to standards or something. I don't really know. But it's one of those days that, according to one associate, basically you can't really do too much. You're limited in your actions. Heck, even as cashiers, we're limited. I mean, there's a point that basically, usually we would zone and all that. We can't even do that. Well, we probably could, but not specifically. Not the way we would like to. We'd like to zone our areas, clean them up. Can't really do that as much because, they got to have it specifically a certain way so they can take the inventory. They can check things out. So, yeah. It's that day of year. It's inventory day. And quite honestly, it's one of those days that I think, in my opinion, companies, no matter whether they're retail, well, mostly retail, whatever, companies, any retail companies of any kind, need to look at and be like, you know what? Our associates slash employees, our associates slash employees slash retailers, if you will, or retailees, are not going to be able to do much. So perhaps maybe we should let them go home early. And maybe that might be considered. Now, in the past, though, when it comes to inventory day, usually this wouldn't be usually it wouldn't be a big of an issue, if you will, because, for a lot of us, including myself, we're used to it. We understand the concept. But you add on the fact that that this inventory day is taking place, according to what I understood yesterday, during a time where I think it's only once a year, especially at the beginning of the year, or the beginning of the school year, where basically basically the kids are let out early. They are let out early is what they are. They are let out early, not because it's a traditional minimum bi-weekly, every other week kind of situation, no. They are let out early due to the fact that yesterday, today, tomorrow is parent-teacher conferences, so you got to make time to get those in. What that means for a lot of us, what that means for us here at the stores, we got to double down on the kids coming in, because the kids like to, how do I put it? The kids like to basically, run roughshod around the store, play with items they're not supposed to play with, disorganize the place. So every other Wednesday we got to be ready for that. Like in 2 weeks we got to be ready for that again. But in this case, we have to be ready for it not just yesterday, but today and tomorrow. But the reason I bring that up now is because this is something that barely happens. But today, it's inventory day. Everything's got to be set a certain way. Everything's got to be structured a certain way so that inventory can be taken by these WIS people, or individuals, or this WIS company, if you will. But here's what's crazy. It's crazy, but here's what's going to kind of be difficult for them. The students come in, the kids come in, and they're going to try to run roughshod, just like they've done before. They're going to try to disorganize the place, tear it up. So again, the reason I bring this up is that's going to make inventory a lot harder for these WIS people to get done and get done on time. It's going to make them feel like they can't get their job done because they might be in one area of the store inventory and taking the inventory of that area, and all of a sudden they'll turn around to double check the fact that they took the inventory, and they could turn around a few moments later and that part of where they were just at could be wrecked because of kids. So this is one of those days to where if anything does happen, it's mostly going to be to try to keep kids in tow, kind of keep them on the best behavior, basically to the point that we may have to call, the sheriff's department and maybe even campus security to keep an eye on them and kind of keep them from coming into the store because of the fact that that inventory is being taken right now by these WIS people. But yeah, it's one of those days. It's one of those days to where, like I said, it's a day that not many retailers, stores, companies, employees, associates look forward to. They really don't. They don't look forward to it whatsoever. But we'll just have to. But again, for someone like me, it's just something that happens on every year, and once it's done with, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. Or at least for another year, that is. But this one's going to be a little bit more tricky because if the kids are getting out early because of PTCs, as I call them, it's going to really be an interesting ride or an interesting scenario because the WIS people, like I said, could be inventorying one area, and then when they go back to double check, make sure they took all the inventory needed, that area could be ransacked, if you know what I mean. So I have to wait and see what happens, but it's inventory day. It's a day that comes once a year, and once it's done, a lot of the stress that not just associates, employees, department managers get, as well as overall the upper management in that store gets, it will be gone, but we won't have to worry about it for another year. And that's what I'm thankful for. But it's inventory day, guys, so I just thought I'd mention that. I know I sound like I rambled a little bit, but I got to get back across the street. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. But like I said, I gotta get back in. Sorry about that, folks. But like I said, I gotta get back. I gotta get inside now. I gotta clock into work and see what I can do. Mainly just cashier, watch the doors, because like I said, not really much can be done. You're very limited because it's inventory day. So, but let me know what you guys think down below. I know I sound like I rambled a bit. Do apologize. But let me know what you all think about what I had to say here. Have any of you dealt with inventory day where you work or something similar to it? Let me know down below, and I will talk to y'all later. God bless. Take care.